a quick recap of last week.
Yeah, but so much happened.
Mostly it was just talking stuff. So we learnt that fucking Eagle, the Lone Sparrow, sorry, was the fastest fuck alive.
Pretty much.
And then fuck, what did that the lady Arthur Lone Sparrow? I can't quite remember.
The library has some hidden scrolls in it that may or may not reveal bits about a basically lost kung fu technique.
Yeah,
And he is
basically Lone Sparrow's not fast enough.
yeah, never fast enough.
But,
Well, at this point, he probably thinks he's okay fast. He could be faster, but it's like, now I just need kung fu that lets me punch people. It's like the reverse of My Hero Academia, in which Lone Sparrow is just now realizing he has arms.
is that and they not figure out they can punch
These
people
2 episodes! He's like, oh no! My arms hurt! How am I gonna do things with my super strength now? If I can't use my arms a lot? 2 episodes later, big swelling musical cue. Legs exist! Oh, sorry. I got intense for that. I was so mad. Mad.
I have not seen that, but I've heard about it a lot. That seems like a bizarre...
It makes me very fucking happy.
I mean, like, it's extreme bullshit, so I love it, but also I hate it. It's a very good show. It's a very good show. I highly recommend it. Yeah. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, so you did that with the Fire Doctrine.
Yeah, so now I have to go steal a bunch of Fire Doctrine holy books from the library.
Yeah,
are you going to try and get help for that? Or are you just going to be like, no?
Remember, she in particular wants to get in because she has some information, both on where the Fire Citrus might be and where they might be able to find stuff on the Devil Deflecting Blade.
Okay, yeah, so me and her are going to break into a library, apparently. And I'm going to try to not make this an actual break-in.
You're going to try and probably fail.
Let's see, and then our sister pleasure house to the Blue Orchid, the Auspicious Petal, opened. Had a pretty good opening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pale Orchid's scholar friend dropped by, was very awkward and adorable. My usual suitor came up and... Oh, and also an old man knows who Plum Blossom is.
Things got threatening towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
Mildly threatening.
Mildly threatening.
Yeah, they had some words, but yeah, I got a lead to talk to White Tiger, I believe.
Yeah, it was specifically. Let me just double check. Last he was aware that the previous emperor used to actually be fairly good friends with one of the. Oh, what the hell is it? The Western White Tiger, which is one of the Saint Beasts.
Yeah.
So, mentioned that they were good friends, and that was someone who, he sort of suggested if if the old emperor is still going to be alive, and has returned to the Wulin, as is widely rumored, that's probably who he would have, that person would probably know. However, the Saint Beasts, as your character is aware, are not always so easily found if they don't wish to be.
Yeah.
They are like pinnacle of Wulin.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a thing right now on the lore sheet for I don't know how many points yet, but Plum Blossom gets a lead on Western White Tiger.
The fastest.
Well, actually, the thing is, you don't necessarily need, because you will have ideas of where to go for Western White Tiger.
Oh, okay, great.
Up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to bring him to you, you could put something along those lines in there.
Yeah, I think my main thing is, like, I said I would do this, so I'm going to do it. Or Plum Blossom said it, and Plum Blossom is going to do it. However, I am also in charge of a pleasure house now.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know the White Camel Mountains are where he's supposed to have been from, and somewhere around there it's supposed to be able to find the Western White Tiger.
We need to find a lovely NPC person who we can trust and look after the pleasure house while we're away.
We just got it. We just got it. I can't leave the... I mean, like, we can spin the clock, I guess, but, like... It sounds like the thing right now is a heist that we'll get to listen in on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or possibly be a part of. I don't know what y'all are going to do. That sort of depends on... Because things could be happening with y'all that are different. Or you could be pulled into his plans.
Let's find out today on Legends of the Wulin.
Dun dun dun. Are you a Wulin? Okay, yeah. So yeah, last time we had the Lexa discovered Hill Orchid discovered that someone had been asking. I think you actually got that it was Hooded Cobra. Mm-hmm. Had basically been asking if it's possible for weapons to choose their owners, and seemed rather interested in how you seem to have made the sword yours.
Because I'm just that good, yeah. And then I spoke to my lovely, awkward scholar friend, and we could be awkward together.
So awkward together, I can't help but being awkward with you. Okay, so at this point we've got like probably the next day. We have Lone Sparrow has returned from his sojourn. So yeah, there's going to be some information. Do you go back to speak to the Falling Leaves?
Me?
Yep, about what happened when you tracked down Summer Salamander as he was released.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. Did it look like where they were was like a temporary location, or was that look like this is where they live and they've led me back to where they live?
They had sort of taken up a house in a small village. Whether someone else actually lived at that house, they claimed it, or it belongs to one of them, you're not entirely certain.
Okay.
And we could rewind a little bit if you wanted to talk to them about that, if you're going to give them a place to go or something.
It's less give them a place to go and more like, you shouldn't be here in about 6 hours, because I need to tell them you went somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, so we can kind of rewind a little bit. So as your Spock, Wing Sharpay sort of looks at you, is like, so I'm assuming is this village going to be fallen upon by the falling leaves?
As graceful as they fall.
I think she smiles a bit. I think the falling leaves might be keen to help a small town that was harmed by some evil fire cultists. Don't you agree?
Essentially. All I can say is that we can't have you here because I have to tell them you went somewhere. They'd never let me in on this again if I just said, well, you let him out of the city, and then I immediately lost track of him.
Okay. She goes, tell you what. There is, and at this point she goes, there's a place northeast of Stone Trunk Town, which is essentially sort of a midpoint between Magnificent Inc. and it. It's on the other side of the river. There are some caves there. We can go and make it look as if we had been there.
Sounds good to me. I'll stay out a little longer just to simulate travel time.
She turns back to the salamanders and is like, well, looks like we're going to go camping for an evening. Let's make it look like we've been there for a while. Grab stuff. And they start to gather up things. And she goes, okay. Give us, I say, if you get back to Magnificent Inc. around nightfall, that would have given you enough time to get there and back. And we will go and set up camp for the evening.
Good. We've got the contacts established, so we can meet up when necessary.
All right. Just to basically ask, we'll be looking for your signal. And they head out. And you wait till nightfall to head back to Magnificent Inc.?
Yep.
Okay. So you arrive. Magnificent Inc., you go straight to the Falling Leaves, the Bloomington Manor?
Yeah, if they'll have me.
Yep. As you arrive, like when you show up, you're immediately shown to Master Flawless. Any kind of eyebrow arches. So, where are they hiding?
I give him the location of that fake cave we just set up.
He goes, bandits used to use that cave quite some time ago. We cleared it out a few years ago. Probably should have kept an eye on it. Alright. Did any of them see you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Nobody saw me. Thank God on that.
Sounded like you said, at first. No, just something I heard.
It's been a very long day.
How many were there?
At least 3 recognizable, but it's not like I could go in the cave itself.
Okay. You tell who any of them were from where you were at?
The only one I managed to recognize was the one I was escorting. Anyone else was, well, unknown to me.
So his brother might still be here in the city. Good to know. Thank you. If this checks out, we'll be in your debt. Particularly if we can catch them. Okay. And then he just sort of turns back to someone else, and they start talking about gathering up some members of the Falling Leaves and getting a strike force out probably around first light at this point. If not a bit sooner. Do you head back?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm assuming you're also probably staying at the auspicious chair?
Pedal.
It's the supine couch across the way.
We're the gilded ottoman.
The gilded ottoman.
God.
We are the love seat of doom! No, of love. Not
the comfy chair.
The love seat of love.
The comfy chair.
We got the comfy chair!
God.
Okay. So, that evening, things are going pretty much as they did the last evening. Again, you're still seeing some evil looks from across the street, the supine couch.
Uh-huh.
But beyond that, it's sort of getting to know people there. You're noticing the clientele is becoming a bit richer already, as those who would come last night talk to friends of theirs who are more wealthy, and quite a few of them older. Some of the retired, basically some of the retired administrators and magistrates who have retired to Magnificent Inc. that still often have a good deal of ties to current things going on, because it's not that far from the capital.
Yeah. All right.
Things are probably winding down maybe about the time Lone Sparrow gets there.
Yeah. Lone Sparrow, how did the search go?
Things were found successfully, and guards have been dispatched.
Oh. I had no doubt that you would be able to keep up with them. Did we, Pale Orchid?
You are quite literally the only one who has not doubted me today.
Oh, it sounds like you need a drink. Please, sit down. Like, make you, like, real good. What? Can I just say that cocktails exist? Like, cocktails can exist. We have fire. Yeah, I make you a real good cocktail of your choice.
Some tea with some gin. That's it.
Yeah, tea with gin. Yeah, yeah. I keep the shitty tea on hand for you because I know you don't care. So the shitty tea with gin.
Oh, what's that called? That actually has a name.
I'm sure it does.
You take leftover take leftover green tea and you mix it with strong alcohol, and it's something. But I don't remember what it is right now. Anyway, yes, we're drinking that.
Great. Rough day then?
As it gets. You'd imagine that, after you prove the fact you can outrun just about everybody, or that you have the skill, people would just kind of know, instead of everybody and their mother assuming that their chosen guy is better. And then you have to do repetitive tasks over and over again.
Well...
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
While you are very accomplished, my friend, you do have to admit that there are certain things that age brings that would cause people to doubt a claim like that. And a claim like that is something that has to be backed up with action, and you've chosen a skill that requires you to back it up again and again and again because it's easy to prove.
I just wish it was a challenge for once.
God, I love Lynn Sparrow.
Not to be negative towards my opponents. Just
You've
never
earned
know what they're getting into.
I like give you a smile. You've earned the right. If I have not seen anyone be able to even get close to matching you.
I mean, Ghost kicked me through a building. I still have to get him back for that, but...
Well, I didn't see that. And like mutters under his breath, I wouldn't mind getting kicked through a building. Oh God.
I ought to be kicked through a building.
Well, I guess that's something you're just going to have to live with if you want to keep this reputation up.
I don't even
Welcome.
need it. I just...
Have you considered maybe just toning it down for a while if it's burdening you? You're not under any sort of obligation to literally go up to every single person and say, I'm so fast, will you race me?
Yes, but as a talent, it is my obligation to present the best foot for our company. I cannot say that I'm a member and then say that my abilities are subpar.
There's a difference between subpar and not getting into contests everywhere you go that you don't want to get into. The truly skillful don't have to prove it because their reputation precedes them.
The same way the truly skillful don't have to hit on anything that moves?
I don't have to. I want to. A common misunderstanding. An easy one to dismiss.
Fine. Tomorrow's even going to be more complicated.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Lots of talking.
Oh,
I don't quite like that.
with your bosses?
Not my boss, but a man Haubai introduced me to. I need a favor.
What's his name?
I have completely forgotten. Sparrow has also probably forgotten.
Well,
I know exactly where.
Wait, are you talking the
merchant?
The noble?
Yeah,
the merchant. Yeah. By the way, I went through and just created, real quick, like names and genders and such of the courtesans of the auspicious petal. If you want to check them on the Trello.
Oh, dope.
But how Sharon is the head of the merchant house.
That's it.
Who would ask you for information?
Yeah. Does Sparrow remember or no?
Sparrow would remember.
Sparrow remembers.
Alright, cool.
That kind of stuff you need.
It's a mercenary contact. It's something you can't afford to forget.
Yeah. Does he share?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my question. Did Haubai come over to work, essentially, maintenance and such, like cleaning and such, at the Auspicious Petal, or is she still at the House of Blue Orchid?
Let's bring her with us, because she's way too much trouble to not.
I think, like, I caught on to... Or no, did I not catch on to her stuff? Oh no, I saw her fucking drunk off her ass, like, on the job. I think I would have, like... Lone Sparrow, like, I would have to have you vouch for her and take full responsibility for her in case she fucks up.
That's what I'm doing anyway.
Very well then. I trust your word. Anyway, so this merchant, could I, like, make a roll, or would I, like, spend a joss for him to have been one of these new rich clients that's come by?
Oh, you can spend a joss for him to be there tonight.
Yeah.
Are you looking for him to put a little bit of a courtier whammy on him to make it easier for...
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so let me spend that joss. Yeah, like, maybe just, like, not over that fellow there who's been here for the past 2 hours.
Him over there?
Yeah, he's been nursing tea all evening. One of those nights, I suppose. Would you like me to put in a good word?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Of course. You're asking him for a favor?
More like calling in a mutual favor. I have something he wants, and he might be able to get me something I want.
That's messy for you.
Since I walked into this damn city, it's been messy.
I, like, wave over to Kangyu, like, pour this man another one, and I'll walk up to, Ho Shiren, and maybe, like, catch Pale Orchid's eye and, like, wave her over.
Yes.
This, Lone Sparrow asked us to butter him up. Apparently they're going to have some business dealings. Let's do our best, shall we?
But a Lone Sparrow up?
No! Ho Shiren! That merchant that's been there for the past few hours.
Right. I've been meaning to talk to you.
Oh, sure. That can wait. He's not moving. What's up?
How are you good at talking to people? Because
well...
you say butter him up, and I have no idea what to do.
If I were sitting alone at a table for hours, drinking all the tea that was put in front of me, paying no one else in mind, but look at him, he doesn't look that upset right now. What do you think that tells you about the sort of person he is?
She just stares blankly.
Do you want to make a way roll?
Yes.
To see what you can tell by looking at him, or do you want him to be obtuse?
Let's wu-wei this.
Okay.
I recently bought social perception, and I would like this conversation to be where she, like, helps learn the social perception.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet. Awesome.
Love it.
So yeah, she's just, like, looking at him and just trying to sense stuff about him. Roll. Oh.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, do I interesting times or do I go with the 23?
Oh, this is such a perfect time for interesting times.
It really is.
Yeah, let's go with the 20, but then I have 15, so that's 35.
Okay. Okay, so, for interesting times, you can take a chivalrous joss, because you'll have succeeded.
Yes.
If you see that he's taking great notice of you.
Sorry, I'm getting a call from my doctor. Bear back.
Okay.
Cool. So I can sense and, like, notice that, like, that he has taken a fancy to me specifically.
He definitely finds you rather interesting. He kind of keeps looking at you, but as you're noticing, His eyes are sort of darting between some of the magistrates and other people involved. You can kind of tell they're the ones kind of greater rank. And you see him occasionally, and it's a little hard to tell through his beard.
Yes.
But occasionally you notice that he is, like, whispering to himself names. He's clearly sort of memorizing who showed up. And, like, trying to sort of look a little shy as people come, as like, some of the courtesans come to speak, the courtiers come to speak to him. Kind of, like, demurs sort of shyly, but is definitely checking out people and seems to be, like, memorizing who's here among the higher-ups. But his eyes kind of just keep kind of dragging to you a little bit as you're sort of watching, and when he makes eye contact, it immediately kind of snaps back to the other people he's been looking at.
How so? Can I sense that the shyness that he's letting off when he's occasionally spoken to is fake? Or
You're very, very possibly, because he seems to be very deliberately sort of. He's keeping himself ignored by others who are waiting for him to become a little less shy, which is not an uncommon thing, particularly with some of the wealthier who may have been their first time at a place like this. You don't know if it is, but he's clearly here with purpose that he's trying to keep hidden.
Cool.
I'm back and I caught the important bits.
Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's taking note of the important people in the room and stuff. So, what did you out of character? So what did you say that we had to do for this guy? But to butter him up, but why? Like, what was the reason you gave?
That he and Lone Sparrow are going to have some business dealings, and we're just going to try and put in a good word for Sparrow.
Okay. So yeah, she just looks at him for a little while, and then looks Plum Blossom and says, "Is that guy like a spy?"
Like Plum Blossom laughs, but then stops laughing, looks at him.
I don't know.
Yep. I like smile and shrug. That's certainly one explanation.
He's trying to remember. Well, it looks like he's trying to remember all the like higher up people in the room. So I don't know why, but
well, if he were a spy, he would already know those names.
That's true.
A very good guess, though. He's probably someone who's trying to jockey favor with some of our clientele.
Okay. Secondly, how do you?
So your question was how to talk to people.
Yes, he seems shy, but he's like his eyes are going around the room and at me. I think he likes me, but okay. So there was this guy the other night, and instead of words, my I don't know, shoes and like just everything other than good words came out of my mouth. What? How do you talk sexy?
Well, that's the first time I've been asked that, and I'm surprised. No, it is fine to ask something like that. Please, that is why I'm here. Well, there's
like big rosy red cheeks because she's
yeah. I think I give you a comforting touch on the shoulder, well, for starters, experience helps in all things. I didn't start off as some flirtatious beauty. Beauty, yes, but not flirtatious one. Now, thanks.
I'm gonna refill my drink in half a second. I'll be right back.
Very cool.
Just this guy is still drinking by himself as he's been waylaid in order to get the Princess Diary style flirting lessons.
Oh yeah, we haven't come up all the way up to him, but we're clearly I don't think we're hiding the fact that we're talking about it.
Occasionally looking over at him, right?
Yeah, God.
Sparrow's just kind of looking over and it's like, okay, we got Plum on it. Oh shit, no.
If I see you looking, I'll just give you a big thumbs up.
We didn't need both of them.
And back.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so... Well, experience is certainly one thing. The more you do this, the better you'll get at it, and that's a hard lesson, but a true one. The other piece of advice I can give you is... Pale Orchid, if you don't enjoy this work, you know I could try and find a position for you as a bodyguard. If you're uncomfortable doing this work, I just thought it would be something you might enjoy. There are other positions here that we could shift you to. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do want to be in this position, I'm happy to mentor you as much as possible. I just didn't want you to feel trapped.
Images of her beating the shit out of someone and like thinking about the conversation about the sword and how she feels about the sword. She's just like, no, I want this job. I want this job. I don't want to be a bodyguard or anything. This job is good, and I'm very grateful. I'm just bad, and I need help.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Well, how about this? Treat it like a game. Treat it like a fight. You fight well. Fighting is just a conversation. And I truly believe that. I'm not lying to you. Fighting is a conversation. You're communicating something when you swing your sword. Now, just instead of communicating something through violence, communicate it through a smile. You don't need to find the right words all the time. Sometimes people just want the nonverbal. People want the presence. You have a lot of presence. Try and angle for what you're good at, what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
And if a client makes you uncomfortable, you come to one of us with more experience, and that's what we're all here for. We're a team here.
Okay. Can I watch you deal with this guy?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. You don't need to speak. I'll do the talking. All right, and then we go up to the merchant after this great manager-employee mentor-student talk.
So he doubles down on his drinking.
Yeah, so I walk up. Pardon me, sir. I just wanted to make sure that your evening is going well. Notice you've been here a while.
Oh, me. There's that moment where he sort of breaks and looks up. Oh, just fine. I'm just new to a place like this.
I understand the feeling. Actually, this is the same day, right? So, yeah, this is only our second day of business, actually. My name is Plum Blossom. I run this establishment. Oh, sorry. Rewind. My name is Plum Blossom illuminated by the full moon. I run this establishment.
I'm afraid my name is simply Hao Shiren. Very nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you as well. How are you finding everything here?
Quite well. You have beautiful staff, nice place here, good people to rub elbows with. It's, I think, a very fortuitous opening.
When he says rub...
Auspicious, one might say.
I'm a sucker for puns, I must say. When he said rub elbows with, give like an eyebrow wiggle. Oh. And both ways?
I'm sure the elbow rubbing isn't as much fun as the other things that are done.
You'd be surprised what people are into these days. I see you've been eyeing my friend here. This is Pale Orchid, one of our newer employees. She's just doing some training right now, but were you an admirer?
Pale Orchid is quite beautiful. Seems a little nervous in a place like this, and I have to admit that I feel much the same.
Oh, well, what's making you nervous? Is it just being in the new environment? I want to make sure that nobody here is doing anything that would make you uncomfortable.
No, I'm merely here rubbing, well, at least elbows, with those a good deal above me. I come from humbler roots, but came into a good amount of money through hard work.
Well, congratulations on your fortune. What do you do for a living?
I run a merchant house.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that, do you recognize my guard over there? I point to Lone Sparrow.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Lone Sparrow. I believe he mentioned an acquaintance of his, a merchant. That wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
I'm sure Lone Sparrow might know many merchants. What did he tell you about this merchant?
Hmm.
I mean, the Eagle Talons do work with a great deal of people.
I believe he mentioned something about wanting to do a favor for this merchant. He seemed very respectful.
Might be that one. I'm always open for those who wish to help.
Well, I cannot recommend his help enough. He has been already an invaluable asset. He was working with us briefly at the main Blue Orchid House before coming here, and you'll never see a man who's faster. I'd like to put.
I used that line once myself. It didn't work out as much.
I give him like a little playful like. Don't know if he wants physical contact. I just give him a laugh. I do want to roll to discover an impressed or respect. I want him to have a good impression of Lone Sparrow, like this owner of this nice, upstanding pleasure house is even recommending him. This kid's got to be good then. It's okay. Roll 20. Are we gonna do it? Okay, I don't think it registered that roll. There we go. All right. That's a 28 plus 10, so a 38.
Okay. Let me just double check one thing real quick. Now he is not Wulin, so he is going to be rolling a smaller amount. I just want to make sure your courtiers are. Just make sure I got this correct in what I wrote down on the thing. Okay, well, it's definitely one of those things where you're talking him up. His amount of speed, we'll say there's a pretty good chance he may have heard some things here and there. So the difficulty is 20.
Okay. It was 38.
38. So with him rolling, with his 18, 23. So yeah, you succeeded by more, basically a critical success.
Nice.
So yeah, on a critical success, what you're able to do is give a minor weakness or a trivial hyperactivity.
Yeah, I'd like to give him a trivial hyperactivity.
And what would you like that hyperactivity to be?
I would like it to be on action bonus when acting on Lone Sparrow's advice or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So right now it is fairly minor. I will go ahead and put it on the Trello. Impressed with Lone Sparrow. Trivial action hyperactivity when working on Lone Sparrow's advice. And what was the roll you had again?
38.
38, and I'm assuming you want like a once per story?
Yeah, something.
Okay. Yeah, which means he'll like once per story, and he'll only need one success to get rid of it. But considering that he is not Wulin, the chances of him getting a 38 are a little low, and that's something you can end up inflaming possibly later on. So yeah, he sort of looks and goes, "I shall have to speak with Lone Sparrow before I leave."
Yeah, please do. He's actually not on the clock right now, so you would not be disturbing any business here.
He goes, "If you'll excuse me."
Nod. A pleasure meeting you.
I'll be right back.
Alright, I guess then I'll turn to Pale Orchid, and... So, did you learn anything?
She's trying to, like, process how fucking just smooth that was. Like, she's got, like, slightly wide eyes, and it's just like, you are very good at this.
Thank you. Now, the main thing is that we appraised him before we spoke to him and understood what he was here for. And he seemed like a patient man. So instead of getting right to the point, just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about yourself, and then give them a chance to talk a little about themselves. That works for many people. An ebb and flow. Conversation is a river.
Find out what they want. Start slow. Okay.
And give them a chance.
Yes.
It's as easy as it is. And you just keep doing it until it feels normal.
Cool. Is there a skill that helps with this? Because I know that you had me roll.
Well, Wu Wei is generally the social, like the specific one that Plum Blossom does is using the courier's arts.
Did you have me roll Inspire last time? What did I roll?
It might have been Inspire. It depends if you were like specifically working with someone. Wu Wei is Wu Wei is reading people. Inspire is
manipulating
more, manipulating people.
Yeah, at least like I don't. Like, if you're using priest arts, like, I think you can actually buy courtier arts, if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, technically anybody can buy anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, like, get in on that. I'm just, like, before, last week, I rolled, you asked me to roll Inspire on that guy.
You rolled Inspire when you played your instrument, is that what you're thinking of?
No, the person's, like, this guy's name.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was super awkward to him, and then I had to roll something, and it was a failure, and I can't remember what it was. I think
it was Inspire. Inspire is like, or Inspire or Perform, maybe. Yeah. Kind of depends on the flavor you're going for, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Just to sort of like talk better, I guess.
Inspire will generally be the one that you're using.
I'll put 5 into it and see what happens. If it ever comes up. If not, that's fine. Okay. Like, I don't want to go like full courtesan, just be like a bit better at like conversation, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Dope. Orin, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, Ho Shiren walks over to you after speaking with Plum Blossom for a bit. I understand that your friend said something about doing something for me?
I've come to enact our little agreement. The state of the city has changed, and, well, I figured you should be the first to know.
And how is it better if we talk somewhere a little away from ears who might care to hear?
If that would be preferable.
Certainly, because we could have a drink in the courtyard.
Then, yes, lead the way. We'll take the bottle of whatever we're drinking.
Yep. Heads out, you've got some wine with you. Yes, so, the city has been fairly volatile of late. What has changed?
Well, for one thing, the phoenixes and the leaves aren't at each other's throats. They've decided to point their efforts in a different direction.
So they're working together. Stability is good. Anyone seeming to loom large into the struggle for eagle talons?
And I'm back.
Oh, I'm sorry. He goes, so they're at each other's throats. That's good.
No,
Anyone seeming to loom large in the pursuit of the eagle talons?
they're not at each other's throats. They found a new enemy. They've decided to work together for the time being. So when it's put your profits on pitting them against each other.
Who's the enemy?
The flames, of course. You can't get that many arsons in the city and then blame it on one of them.
Fire Doctrine here? I thought they stayed more out in the outskirts.
It seems like they've decided to take their cause and name to the big city. Cause a ruckus.
Oh. Well, arson will be a problem, but we'll see what we can do. Well, this is excellent information. I can reduce your friend's debt quite a bit. I still would like to be able to speak with you another time or two.
Oh, perfectly well. As for the Eagles battle, I could not say for the moment. News hasn't really been spilling out. We know what players were involved when I left, but I can broadly guess who's winning. If such information interests you.
Talk to me when you're a little more aware. When we're out of the broad area, a lot can change between now and then.
We shall know. In the meantime, I'd like to ask a favor, if it's within your grasp.
Shoot.
I have been told that the city possesses a rather marvelous library, with quite a bit to read.
Yeah, the Imperial Library is gigantic. You have more scholars here than you have anywhere else in the Empire.
I have a scholarly friend who's coming in who, unfortunately, hasn't done the due time in the city to earn the respect she really deserves. I was wondering if there was any way to get us to see the stacks.
See the stacks. That might take some doing, but I do know some people I could talk to.
That would be wonderful.
He goes, in particular, Chai Huren, or Huang, she's in charge of the Imperial Library. She's the one to speak to. I can arrange an introduction. We've brought books and scrolls and such from various places here on a number of occasions, so they keep pretty well with most of the merchant houses here in town. When would you like to meet her?
As soon as possible.
Well, she's likely to be working in the morning. Meet me then. Oh, did you hear that one?
Did we lose him?
Oren, can you hear me?
But I didn't hear any of that in my connection with site.
Oh, yeah, he goes, she'll likely be working in the morning. Shall I meet you then?
Sounds wonderful.
Excellent. Well, then I shall see you tomorrow.
A pleasure as always.
He kind of finishes down his wine. He goes, well, I should be leaving soon. Good to see you. Tell your friends hello.
I shall.
And thanks. And goes through and then heads out.
Dope.
Cool.
We did it.
Yay! Got one.
Yay!
At least the first step.
Okay. Beyond that, anybody have anything particular you're looking to do that evening, or shall we fast forward?
Let's fast forward.
Okay. And so, Lone Sparrow, are you meeting House Shren to go to the library?
Yeah, just to set up preliminaries.
Okay. We'll say, Plum Blossom, you have been invited, to the house of, what's the dude's name? Wait, where did I write down his name? Damn it. Old, yeah,
Wait, where'd he go? Did you
Yeah.
lose him? Oh no.
No. Yeah. Let me. I put him in the House of Blue Orchid stuff. Let me actually move him just to Magnificent Ink. Qian Shao.
Ah, the old one.
Yep.
Uh huh.
Actually, had sent a message to speak with you.
Okay. Yeah. Of course I go.
And Pale Orchid.
Yes.
The next day, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay. How about, do you just sort of wandering and taking in some of the city?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Just trying to grow
So-
familiar, I guess.
Okay. So this place that you have, as I recall, you've spent this is the first time you've really been
Yes.
here. Note here. Get a few going on. Right, so we'll begin with Pale Orchid. So the city itself is especially this part of it is absolutely beautiful. You have a number of like canals that cut through everything. You have some really beautiful gardens that have been laid out throughout the city. Like this part of it in particular is kept up to a very high degree of sort of just of beauty. As you're heading through, go ahead, give me an awareness roll. Also remember, since it's a new scene, your river has
Yes.
flooded out. Holy shit.
39 plus 5 is 44.
Yeah, at one point you see him several times. You see a man who's basically shadowing you a street over. Often, like as you're sort of like walking down, he'll kind of go between one small alleyway or to the next corner, and he's making it to the corners and such fairly quickly. And then sort of standing there trying to blend in with the crowd. You don't get a very good look at his face, but you're sure very quickly that he's following you, and he. What is your total?
44.
Okay, so 44. That's a 35. Yeah, which will bring him up to a total of a 45.
Dang.
Yeah, dang! I rolled 3 5s. I was
Jesus.
amazed at that. This is karma for how you roll like crazy a number of times. At one point, you kind of, as you're looking, and you're pretty sure it's him. As you look, his eyes like catch yours directly. Something about he's very kind of very pale, very drawn. There's almost a part of him that looks like he should barely be able to stand up. Like just like sunken cheekbones. But as he sort of sees you, there's another person with him, and he just starts walking straight down the street towards you.
Towards me. If I was to sort of like get a sense of if this guy was Wulin and how good he was, would I use Wu Wei, or has my awareness fucked me?
I will say, if you don't know how good he is, you can end up doing sort of a tactics thing, particularly once you see them do something. But you can kind of tell he's definitely Wulin. They're just, you can kind of tell by the way you walk, or rather the way that he walks. The other person next to him does not seem to be. A little less sure on his feet. Like once you see him in action, it's easier to have a little bit of a better chance to know.
Okay, so.
And
Okay, so she's getting flashbacks of Hooded Cobra, and basically everyone that's tried to approach her has either just gave her sexy eyes or tried to kill her. So
the two genders, sexy eyes or kill me.
First you wanted to kiss me, now you want to kill me. blow.
So I have a specialization in stealth called concealment because I wanted her to be like okay at like hiding her sword. So like if she could like hide it like under her like coat or something like that, or just like make it like a bit harder to gaze on in view. How do you stealth?
You would roll and add stealth, and then add your concealment.
Yeah. And so it's against their awareness.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do that now. 36 plus 10. So 46.
Oh!
Holy
34,
shit!
but he's not gonna beat it.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, she doesn't run or anything. She's just like, okay, let's fucking go with this. Is quite a public area?
Yeah, there's sort of people.
Okay.
Walking down the street. The man who is with him gives you a slight bow. The man himself just sort of continues to stare straight at you and is not saying anything at this point. And the smaller one just looks and goes, "We have been told you are the bearer of grievous distance."
You have me at a disadvantage.
Let's look.
You are?
I am Daibai. This is a specter with no tongue.
And what do you want from me?
You give us the sword, you will live.
She smiles slightly as she knows that already said that to me, and here I am. She doesn't say that it was one person.
You know? One. But he was mean and scary.
He was mean. He was pretty good.
And at that point, we are unaware of the number who have come. But, and it sort of looks over, and you see him. There's a moment where his hands sort of drop a bit, and you can see under some fairly long sleeves there are a pair of tiger claws that he's got in his hand.
Okay. For reference's sake, would that be
like Wolverine claws?
The weapon style, I can't remember what it's called. Paired, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's the guy who is definitely Wulin, or is that the other person? Okay. Yeah, I think she says, "You, I'll deal with in a minute." You looks at the other one. What chance do you think you would have?
Now that a slight smile sort of crosses his face, and he just kind of shrugs off the basically just sort of shrugs off the clothes and such he's wearing, and his skin itself is, some of it appears to be tattoos, other it almost appears to be like a cold dead mark left on his flesh. A lot of them sort of have the essentially the essence of claws and such on them.
Okay. And if I was to roll to fight,
that'd probably be Wu Wei. Let me see. Would sort of make the most sense as far as that goes.
Sensing chi is a Wu Wei thing. I'm not sure about like affiliation, but maybe like would learning be so like I can recall like.
Yeah, I would say learning will work for here. You're trying to see if you recognize these particular.
If there's anything relating to like affiliation and things. Okay, let's try that. 3 threes again, Jesus Christ. So
Have you fucked with the as you're sort of looking over, a lot of these are essentially the sort of curses that generally other people put on someone. So either they're self-inflicted or someone held him down and carved some of these things into the flesh. These are ones where there's spirits and such supposed to have been bound to him to hunt him.
Fuck. So this person is like cursed to fuck.
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay.
Damn.
How cursed? Super cursed.
How cursed are you? Very. I'm extremely cursed. It's a shame. Life is hard.
So yeah, her eyes thin slightly and just says, "So we're doing this now."
And at that point, the smaller guy sort of takes a few steps out of the way. And let us cut to Lone Sparrow. This is what. So if you do want to open up, I'm just going to use some of the map stuff from the fight they had the other day. You're not going to be quite at the same spot, but it'll be similar enough. And I will put in his thing because I went on to Pinterest real quick because I realized that I should do this, or I should just download a shit ton of the cool looking ones and put them up there.
And here's Magnificent Inc.'s famous fight alley, where all fights happen.
It's like Batman's crime alley.
People keep walking down crime alley.
I'm gonna take a quick restroom break.
Okay.
All right.
Be right back.
So, Lone Sparrow. You meet House Sharen. House like, welcome. I never would have struck you as a library type.
I have my interests. The nest keeps its, own collection of books. You have to pass the time somehow.
Suppose one does.
Hold on.
I have to warn you.
My door is ringing.
Okay. Yeah, so basically I can put you two in the same zone in the street.
Cool.
Did I move you over to the... Yeah, I did. To the combat one.
Yeah.
Crime Alley.
Right.
Why is everyone else here? You just kind of move them into
That's a badass fucking picture right there.
Yeah, I was looking through. I can't quite find the right weapons for it, but I mean, it would be super cool to have the money to actually be like, hi, I'm going to hire somebody to make specific things for everybody.
Just
but
spend
I am
all
a
my
high school
revenue on
teacher.
art commissions.
Yeah, I'm a high school teacher, so
Yeah.
that ain't going to happen. And I can't draw for shit, so I can't do that. I will say, I don't know if it's just the style of the thing, but it seems like the art you can find for sort of the wuxia stuff is sort of a higher quality overall than a lot of stuff I seem to just stumble on.
I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah, there's a lot of just badass looking people.
In Pinterest.
Yeah. Pinterest is great for wuxia things.
Good to know.
Like there's a couple things I followed on there that a friend had gotten us a shit ton of wuxia characters, and that's one of those I need to just go through and basically just put a big folder on the desk, and if I create a character, just pull from there. But the quality of them seems to of the wuxia drawing seems to be like weirdly high. Maybe I'm just not. I mean, I'm not looking for other stuff, but the cool factor.
Yeah, that's what's most important. The cool factor.
Okay, while we're waiting for Orin to get back,
Yeah.
Blossom, the home of Ken Chow, is extremely nice. The dude's got a lot of money.
Okay.
Which, I mean, he was friends with the Emperor. That's not hugely shocking that he would be pretty loaded. You come in and you're taken by some, unless you do something specific, let me know. And he greets you in sort of a large, got a large foyer area. There's like a go table over against one of the walls. Some places to sit. He goes, please, would you have some wine?
I would love some, thank you.
He goes and he pours some for you and hands it, then pours some for himself. Well, I'm afraid you have come to this place, and I have come to you in interesting times indeed.
Apologies, my dog hates pizza, man.
Oh, no worries. He goes, did you ever have any experience of the capital?
Of the capital or here?
Oh, sorry. We went to Plum Blossom real quick while you were there. We'll
Gotcha.
back to you in a second.
No worries.
I spent the early parts of my childhood in the capital.
Okay, he kind of cocks his eye for a moment. With your father?
I nod.
Is the young emperor, well, our new emperor, to be, is he aware of you?
How much younger is he than me?
I think he's like 16.
Ooh, then no. I don't think he is, because I think Plum Blossom bounced when he was like around 10 to 13. So, no, he was just born, just a year or two old. He might have been told that he had older siblings, he might not have, I don't know.
Well, you may not be aware then of... There's a lot of friction in the city right now. The chances of a coup happening are pretty great. And if it happens there, things will... Well, Magnificent Inc. will turn itself into an armed camp very, very shortly before that happens. Because when the war happens there, it will be repeated here.
Yeah, good.
As far
Go
as
ahead.
I
Let's say, I'm surprised it's taken this long, to be honest.
There's many around him who kept, including his mother, and others away. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only person who has recognized you. But if others come here and others do, you're in a great deal of danger.
I am aware of that.
Either side would wish to use you.
I will not be used by any side, to be clear.
Sort of smiles. He's like, it may not be as simple as you think.
What makes you so sure of that?
These are people whose profession is pulling people in who may not wish to be. They're very good at it. I was very good at it once upon a time.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to teach them what it means to have to face someone who refuses to be pulled.
Sort of smiles. He goes, I suppose that's a possibility. Orin, are you with us?
Was it me again? I stepped out to grab water.
Yeah, but I'll be popping back and forth between the three scenes here.
I stepped out to get water.
So, how's the library itself is massive as you go up there. I mean, it's as much of a work of art as anything else, and you see the place itself is lots of like kind of windows that open up onto large areas, but like as it gets towards the top, the windows stop, but there are still several floors. As you head in, you see a number of scholars sitting down at tables studying scrolls and books. And he takes you up to an office and kind of knocks. It's like, I'm here looking for Kai Huen. She sort of looks up and looks at him, and you see her face falls a little bit. It's you. I'm afraid right now I don't have a specific job to give you. Things are a bit tense right now. That's okay, I've brought a friend to meet you. And what do you do, Lone Sparrow?
I guess the question is, like, did he phrase this as in, like, this is when you should introduce yourself, or is this, like...
Yes. Yeah, he sort of steps aside for you to...
My name is Lone Sparrow's Wake. I am part of the Eagle's Talon Company. Its library and its caretakers.
We don't get a lot of Eagle Talons here at the library.
You drop that.
Oh, we don't get a lot of Eagle Talons here at the library. How may I help you?
Well, partially, I'd just like to read a few things, but mainly I come representing another. One who has a particular interest in a few stacked books. If it was all possible, we would like to, well, examine a few of your articles.
There's a good deal of things available for examination here in the stacks of the library. However, because you're coming and talking to me, I'm assuming you're looking for something a little more than what the normal people are looking for.
You're quite observant. Yes, we're...
Yes, the obvious also often stands out to me.
Yes, I'll grant you that. I'm not exactly subtle. No, we believe that there are threats in the coming days, and that there may be articles among what you possess that would help us counter them.
There's a point where she just sort of leans back a little bit. Threats in the coming days. What sort of threats might that be?
To start with, fire doctrine.
And then there's a moment where her eyes kind of go up just a little bit. And let's go to Pale Orchid.
Hello. How many curses do I receive?
How many curses do I receive?
I have about 47 curses for you.
Please sign here.
Sign it. Yeah, go some curses. Sign here. So yeah, his thing hit the ground, and he sort of looks at his... he's looking over you. It looks like he's clearly seeing to see if you might have the sword on you.
He would have to roll notice, I guess?
Yeah, so what we'll do here is... As his initiative, he's also going to do an action to roll notice. Because one of these you can do, I mean, it's essentially like a wave. Now what was your stealth roll you rolled again?
I think it was...
You concealment?
Yeah, was it the 3 6s that I rolled, or was it the 3 3s? Oh, I think it was the 3 6s, so...
Yeah, the 3 3s were to notice what was...
So
what
it was
his
3
name.
6s, then that means that plus 10. So 36, 46.
46. Okay, well, he's not going to notice because he puts the 22 with his notice would give a 27. So that in and of itself is not going to show him where you have it, but he'll kind of put that with his going into combat stance. Which for him, we go here,
And I'm back.
okay, it basically gives him a 24 initiative. He's not like leaping out at you yet.
Okay, so am I rolling initiative now then as well?
Yeah, now he's not necessarily. You're not necessarily getting this like into combat
okay.
necessarily right at this moment. But it's that thing where either like he's at least ready to come across if it becomes a thing.
And he isn't holding weapons, right? He's just...
Well, he's got the two
yeah.
tiger claws, like the Wolverine, like the two-pronged Wolverine claws with him.
And the other guy... So the other guy isn't doing the initiative.
Yeah, the other guy, he is backed up. And like other people have started to sort of make a bit of a ring, not a ring around you, but it basically started to back up as they saw him drop that and then have the weapons, because this looks very sort of intimidating.
So the guy with the claws is also the guy who looks like pale and full of curses. Okay.
Yep.
And what does the other person look like?
Short, kind of dumpy. is actually dressed decently, like not great. Looks like what he had may have been in fashion in the last year.
What is that guy doing here? Anyway, yeah. If he looks like he's gonna throw down, she's going to frown and. God, the time for speaking is done. She just wants to fucking teach him a fucking lesson.
Yeah!
Pythagoras' theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Okay, so now I.
Oh my god, the Neil deGrasse Tyson of martial artists.
Okay.
I hope you know.
Now I'm going to point out all the reasons why the kinetic energy of your fist could not possibly busted through that wall. If that guy was really going as fast as he said he was, he would have broken down into subatomic particles.
Now, I know you did punch through the wall, but it's not technically possible.
I'm here to ruin Kung Fu for everyone.
Science for stripping fun from life.
So my initiative is 38.
Okay. I'm going to do something to make it a little bit easier on here. I'm going to, for the moment, hide Plum Blossom and Lone Sparrow Awake. Let's do it this way. G, D, and hide columns. There we go. So what was your initiative?
38.
Oh. Oh, did you put it on the sheet?
There you go. I don't know where that technique bonus comes from, so I'm not going to count it.
Okay. So if it's not from,
unless
yeah,
unless
I
that
go ahead
counts as
and
a
remove it
weapon
then.
bonus.
What kind of weapon do you have? Oh, the sword. Are you pulling out the sword, or are you going unarmed right now?
I think she's gonna whip out the sword, but like my footwork for my martial arts is only 5, so I'm guessing my martial arts bonus also counts as the sword. So I don't know where that's.
Yeah. So easy thing to do is I even put it onto. Where is it? The rules are the weapon stuff is actually in handouts.
Yes.
Yeah, weapons and armor. So yeah, sword is a +5 strike, +5 block. You may flood 1 die from the river while you make an attack. If you do and it causes a rippling roll, any chi aura used to protect against this damage costs 2 chi points. 2 chi points per die. And I think your other one was what? Unarmed?
Yes.
That was probably your speed bonus. Yeah, unarmed has a +5 speed bonus.
Speed is. Does speed count for initiative, or I thought is it just footwork? Oh.
Speed is initiative. Footwork is if you're doing something.
Oh, okay. Okay then.
Okay, so you're pulling the sword out? Okay, then we should probably remove the technique bonus for speed. You're still going first, but that will add the. Yeah, if you want to put +5 strike and +5 block on those, I can throw those in for you.
The weapon bonus is sword and fists count as the same because of my thing. So basically, I have sword hands.
Oh, so yeah, that's if you're not. Are you using grievous distance or just your sword hands?
No, swords also count as fists, and fists also count as swords. They're both.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So in that case, that would be the bonus. So the 43. You go first. What do you do?
I just want to fucking just hit him really like. She's annoyed. She just generally gets annoyed when people just try to start fights. She's trying to end it quickly, so she's trying to like punt him very hard in the chest, but yeah, she's trying to pummel strike him like in the like chest neck area just to like wind. You know how people get punched in the neck? They just can't move for like 6 years because they're wheezing and stuff like that. That's what she's doing.
Okay. Make your roll.
Cool.
I'll roll his defense.
So that's 22 plus 10. I'm going to be spending. So hold on, let me make a note of my fucking chi. Yeah, so I'm going to be spending my 2 chi to take that to 10, 15 strike? Yes. So 22 plus 15 is 32, 37.
Okay. Did you throw it onto the thing?
Yeah, let me do that now.
Yeah. And while she's getting that in there, Lone Sparrow.
Yep.
So she's Fire Doctrine. We don't have a tendency to see many Fire Doctrine around here. Now, what might we have here that would allow you to? What do we have around here that the Fire Doctrine? Well, I'm sorry, Roma, did you say they were the ones attacking, or are they the ones?
The Fire Doctrine is the new threat, or the threat that's coming.
The new threat. Okay. Yeah, so at that point she's like, and how do you see what we might have in the stacks being something that can help against the Fire Doctrine?
Okay. I think we were talking past each other, because I can't hear you.
But you said that the threat were
Yes.
the Fire Doctrine? Yeah, so she goes, what might we have here that could help you against the Fire Doctrine?
Intercepted communications, things we've managed to wring out of the members that we've gotten, have, well, pointed us at the fact that they believe that there are, buried within the stacks, technique scrolls pertaining to old Fire Doctrine technique. Things that are currently lost to them that they wish to regain.
As well. I mean, if you have something from someone higher up in the Eagle Talons, I mean, as far as I'm aware, you're not the ranking member here in town, but those here are fairly low rank. We don't like to open up to just anybody our private stacks.
That I can understand.
Plum Blossom.
Yeah.
At that point, he kind of looks at you and just goes, depending on what you wish, there might be a way to profit from what's happening here.
Define profit. You mean literally gaining money, or do you mean some other form of advancement?
I realize that when you're as rich as I am, money seems very little to profit from, so I'm talking more of better things in life. Do you wish to return to your royal roots?
I thought I made myself clear that this is the life I've chosen for myself, and I do not wish to have it disturbed.
It's easier to say that when you don't have the opportunity in front of you. The young emperor might be able to use some allies. Perhaps you'd be a good one. Or perhaps you can find his father to see if he's still alive and able to do something.
Yeah, I think, like, Plum's eyes harden a little bit. Neither of those are my responsibility.
Oh. Well.
But I will do you the favor of finding my father. I said I would do as much, and I'm a man of my word. If you wish me to relay a message, I will.
Tell him an old friend would like him to make sure that what he spent so much time building is not torn down.
You don't You. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say Pale Orchid. Okay, what's your
10.
damage bonus? Is 10. His toughness is 5, so we're going to add a +5 to what you've got, essentially. So, 47 against his 24, which means, what, we got to, what, a 25-point total?
Yes.
So, with 25, it means you've got 2 ripples and an immediate rippling roll. So, if you want to go ahead and roll 2d10.
Great.
Don't sound too excited.
It always feels good getting the immediate ripples. 14, I guess, is that?
Okay. So he gets to use
Jesus
29.
Christ.
So yeah, it's still going to keep, and I'll make a note that he's got. Actually, wait, sorry. Do me a favor. Roll, because we're doubling the rippling rolls. Roll 2 more d10 and add that to the 8 6.
4, so 18.
Yeah. So well, it ends up being in. I mean, yeah, the 18's the highest you got. Because the 8, because you do it like this. So he's got 29, plus his toughness. So yeah, it doesn't cause it, but the ripples are still there. At which point he, like, there's this screaming appears around him, and as you start to see from some of his some of the tattoos and curse stuff on him, these spirits sort of rise up out of him with this unholy screaming. As you take the hit, he surges forward, just like striking a number of times, coming after you.
Oh.
He suddenly becomes like essentially this sort of whirlwind. So what he's going to do with what he's got, he's going to put into a strike, but he's also using some chi, so he's going to end up with. Oops. So he's using chi to access. Some of it, like when he hits, like he feels like he's practically made of stone. When he strikes, and you can feel a chill run throughout you. Oh, I'm sorry, that actually adds another 10 because he has that bonus for the action bonus, or another 5 rather, another 5, not 10. Yeah, he has a minor action bonus whenever his metal chi is used with horrifying supernatural results. As like the screams are happening, as you hit, there's a chill, and there's actually going to be like a palm print, like it's like a fading, cold palm print that strikes you in the chest. Essentially, he is also using his might with the other set that he's got, so that will be a 20. Oops, wrong one. So he's also trying to attack your strike, because you just hit him very hard. So as it's hitting, you can kind of feel a little bit of let me just add his, what is his might? He has no extra might, so he gets no bonus for that. So you said a 20 on that. So as he strikes, you can kind of feel energy being sucked out of your limbs, and it would be a tough. You would add your might to your skill for that. So if you notice, I've got the 2 different things, though that's not. That should be green, but it's not. With a martial art, so he's got the disrupt, doing an attack on your strike, which would lower, if it succeeds, would lower your strike by 5, and then he's got an attack on you, which is the 59.
Okay. Okay, so I have never gotten hit before, I don't think. So what am I counting here?
So you want to do your standard roll?
Yes.
Okay. So you, the way it's sort of being described, it seems like dodging would probably be a little bit easier. Because if you block, he's got the iron body skill, and he's put his chi into it. So blocking would be a little difficult. So if you try to block, you'd have a -5 total, which still actually puts you a little bit above. So when you describe how someone could do something, it'll sort of determine. Like for his was trying to dodge out of the way, and he failed on the previous one. So you can put that in dodge. The other thing, if you want to put, what's your might?
Where do I find my? Oh, it's just a skill.
Yeah.
0.
Okay, same with him. So he's got a 20 that's attacking your... that you can put in Disrupt. So you can put some dice in Disrupt. You can put some dice into the block or dodge.
Okay.
Like it'll be easier to dodge. You'd have a -5 with your block, but that still puts you at 15 instead of 10 for your block.
Okay. Then let's block. Yeah, so I can put 20 there, which will be 35. Can I spend chi? Or
do you have a technique that gives you like a bonus for that?
no? What? Oh, is it just that I can spend to give me +5s?
No, Joss you can spend at the beginning to give you an extra die.
Okay, so I can't spend that. That's fine.
Or you can spend malicious to reduce them by a die.
Okay. Oh, so it's on. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay, so you've got a... So that would be 37? If we take away the...
35,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
35. So, and then do you have anything you can put towards the Disrupt?
I can put singles,
your,
right? Or do I have to put...
I think for defense you can put a single.
Okay.
Of course, the most you can put on there is a 19, and neither of you don't have a bonus, so he would still succeed.
Yes. So yeah, I'll put a 19, but he'll still succeed, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, so if you just want to make a note that your strike essentially took damage, so that you've got a -5 to your strike from here on out. And what you can do is you can actually make a roll in the initiative, essentially a wave to either, in this case, probably warm yourself up some way, and a 20 is what you have to beat. However, so the 35 against the 59, so that's what, a 25 bonus? Plus, his damage is 15, your toughness is 10, so a 35. You're going to take 4 ripples and an immediate rippling roll.
Jesus Christ, let's go.
So I'll roll his 40, so 22 is what he got there, or well, plus his damage, which is a 37. You've got a chi aura of 2. If you spend 2 chi, you are then able to roll 2d10 and add your toughness, which is a 5.
Okay. Do I regain 1 chi every turn?
Yes, your normal thing is 1 chi. You can also respire. Basically, put a set into respire in your initiative roll, and then get back more.
Okay, so if I spend 2 chi, what happens? Sorry.
You then get to roll 2d10 and add your toughness.
My toughness is
5?
Yes.
So you have a 19 against 37, so there is a 16 total. So what is your chi threshold? Basically, what's if you add up all your chi?
11, I believe.
Okay, so 11 chi. So at this point, that means what he did is he actually succeeded by more than... It's above your chi threshold. So it's actually going to give you a minor condition.
Nice.
So minor condition means it's greater than chi threshold. A major is greater than double your chi threshold. And taken out is greater than triple. So I will make a thing on here. Minor action penalty, we'll say right now, what's the total was 37. And so minor action penalty, 37, and it is basically the ghosts are still screaming around you and are very... So I put it in the chat, and are very distracting. So both of you are right now both at 4 ripples.
Cool.
Okay, so we can roll initiative for them, and then I'll go over to Lone Sparrow while we sort of decide where to put those. Lone Sparrow. Orin, you there?
Orin?
Oof.
All right. Let's go back then
I see
to...
my character.
I'm back.
Oh.
I heard
back?
Sparrow, and then I couldn't communicate, and then nothing came through for several seconds.
Oh, okay. Let me do this real quick. Oh. So, Lone Sparrow, so she looks at you and she's like, "You're asking an awful lot."
I'll admit that I am.
And yet you have...
I've watched too many buildings in the city burn already. And I'd rather take all the steps that I can to prevent more.
Well, it costs a great deal to be let into our stacks, and we're often nervous of letting people that we don't know. I mean, you are a member of the Eagle's Talent, which gives you some culpability of people we can go to, but...
Would a more local organization's opinion help your sway?
Well, Eagle Talons are here in town. There is, of course, how much it costs to go into the private stacks. We have to keep them... We have to do upkeep, of course.
Well, of course.
Yeah, and then, so yeah, well we're jumping back between them. Pale Orchid, you definitely have initiative. He's got a 24 against your 46. So then you get to decide. I would go ahead if you want to make your roll and then figure out what you want to do, and we come back to you, and then we'll hit what's happening there. And she kind of looks at House Sharan and goes, "Is he putting up the cost for you to go up there?"
I certainly would not expect him to, nor would I request such a thing.
She smiles, and the price that she quotes you is a lot. It's the kind of thing that, like, the very rich could get in, or possibly organizations that have some sort of a understanding and payment for the library. And more than you have on hand.
True. Is there not a way to negotiate around this cost? I'm more of a man of services than of coin.
What services do you provide a library?
What services could a library possibly need of a man?
We hired you as a guard. It would take far longer than you probably wish.
Very good.
So, if you got something, put it on the table. I'm going to pop over to Plum Blossom.
Yeah. He said something about, like, you know, the structure that my father built.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Is there any way I can help?
If you know where Western White Tiger is, I suppose. But...
He kind of sits back a moment, and he sort of, his eyes kind of get lost in the past a bit. So, Western White Tiger, you know, is essentially... Find him again, where he normally is. He goes, the White Camel Mountains. There is a village. Mountain Shadow. In the White Camel Mountains. Last we were there, that's where he was living. Apparently there was someone there that he had loved once who died. That would be the place I would start.
Very well. You were close to my father, and you want to protect the structure he built, but you understand that he built it on a rotten foundation, don't you? If you were close to him, surely you saw the signs everywhere.
I believed he might be able to improve that foundation. I believe that he might make it better than it was. I don't know what made him give up. He was a good man, and he was trying to do good in a world that's not meant for it. I suppose even great men get disheartened.
Well, he gave up at perhaps the worst possible time then. But you put more faith in him than I ever did.
I would never speak ill of the Emperor, but...
That makes one of us.
His timing was not always what one might wish it would be.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I think you're hoping for too much with this.
Perhaps. I'm hoping there's still the man I knew in there somewhere. I'm hoping he's still alive. Because if the current emperor dies, if the new emperor who's yet to take over dies, this empire will be shaken to its foundations.
I hope it is. I just hope it's shaken in the right ways. Without as little violence as possible to the common people.
Sort of smiles. He goes, I'm unaware of any society that gets shaken to its foundations where it is not the people at the bottom who are crushed underneath. Somehow those at the top often come out okay.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. And so you see why I'm not eager to assume such a position. We've both seen what that sort of thing can do to a person.
I can't put this on you if you wish to stay, or if you wish to go around your own life, live it, but I will give what aid I can if you travel out to do something.
I've already said I'll do you this favor. Just don't make me a pawn in these games. I have no interest in it. I'll do a favor for an elder.
He smiles, he goes, and I am at your disposal should you need me.
Give him a slight bow.
Okay. And Pale Orchid. So you strike for 52, and then what do you try
I have
to
a quick
disrupt?
question. Because I have a +5 bonus hyperactivity, when my actions align with what the sword wants, my sword basically wants to fucking crush him right now, I'm guessing. Is what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
So do I get...
Are you pulling it? You
Yes,
got the sword?
absolutely.
Yes, so basically that'll essentially even out your strike bonus. And we'll give you a +5.
So the minor so I don't know where the minor thing that affected me goes. Sorry.
Oh, if you just want to make a note under
Yes.
conditions that you have a minor action penalty. It's if you just put 37, that's the thing that you would have to end up rolling sort of at the end to.
Okay, but what does that affect?
Get rid of it?
What am I getting a -5 to?
So a minor action penalty means you get a -5 to any actions.
action.
But the +5, yeah, the +5 is going to from the sword.
Okay, so
even that
nothing
out.
happened. So I didn't count the -5 into any of my stats, so nothing changes.
Yeah, so the +5 will even it
I
out.
want to add 2 disrupts, so I want to have my 29 and a 20. I want to hit his strike and his block.
Okay, so for those, the thing is for any kind of strike, you have to have a set.
Yes, I do. I have like, 2 10s in my river, which I'm going to use. So I have
okay.
I have
Yeah, just go ahead and put those in disorient. So what are you attacking with the 2 disrupts?
his block and his strike. 29 hits his strike.
Okay. Okay, and then if you just want to put in disorient the other one.
Yeah.
So with him, we can put. Oops, shouldn't put that there. So describe what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I'm also no, yeah. So yeah, he pushes back slightly, and I feel the weight of him, right? Because like he has metal teeth, so he fucking feels heavy, and like he's like stone.
Yeah, and like when it struck, his whole body felt like it was like made of iron.
Yeah. I think like you see like the anger on her face, and like she grits her teeth, and she's just going to fucking lash out at him, like full power, like just swing her sword, and just trying to like you get images of her trying to like crack a bell.
Mm-hmm.
She'll try and do that.
Okay. So if we go. Oh, yeah, that'll go down by that.
Damage is 10 as well.
Oh, whoops, I put that in the wrong one.
Where did you get the 37 from?
Well, actually, he can go because he's got the 2 7s. It'll actually be. I put that in the wrong thing. So I think for him to block it, he'll have to use all because he has the 2 7s already in his river.
Does he? Shit.
So he'll have to use those. He'll have to use the 2 7s that I rolled this time, and then he has got the 5 there. He can put the 18 can go for the block. The 20 is not going. He can't put in his river because he's already flowed out of it. So yeah, as it's right, he actually dodges out of the way, like just barely. So you're striking with the sword or the hands here?
Sword, for sure.
Okay. So it looks like he's got a -5 on the strike, and your total there was a 29. Oops. Yeah, so as you hit there, the sword, he manages to just sort of barely dodges it, and then like with the, was it like kicks or something with the disrupts?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the one disrupt, sort of with his heart, he meets the one kick on like the leg, and it almost kind of like you feel it's almost like a really stiff as you hit it, but then the other one as it strikes its arm and numbs him just a bit. His hand kind of comes back and he's shaking it. Once again, not talking, and then comes at you with a
20.
good amount of damage, like the screams and such that are appearing around him as he goes, and you can see like ghosts sort of spreading from his back as he rushes forward. So
am I rolling
there
again to block or whatever it is?
Yeah, this is for block. These are going to have a lot coming at you because I did not roll great on that one. So essentially, he's got a strike that is coming at you as he's spending his chi, an extra 10. He has a strike coming at you with 36, and as it's going, you see like these ghostly palms such appearing around him and striking in the air, sort of all around you. Block is actually going to be a little bit easier than dodge because it's going all over the place. So you use your regular block. Okay. So you've got a 35 with your block of 20. You're probably going to be okay. Yeah.
Wait till I'm fine.
Okay. Then we both do initiative for the next round real quick.
I'll think about what
he rolled
I
for
did
shit.
Terribly.
So he keeps that 19 in there. He'll still have a 24. You'll what, add 18? So yeah, you're still going first. So then you get to make your roll and then tell us what you're doing when we come back to you. Lone Sparrow. Oh, Lone Sparrow?
Sorry, I'm just getting like huge periods of silence, so I'm kind of guessing.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, so we're coming back to you. So, put something on the table if you have it.
Libraries collect histories, correct?
We have quite a few.
And the less accounts there are of something, and the more personal the account is, the rarer the history?
Often. If it can be verified what it is.
What if I were to offer you a history that has yet to be?
Writing of the future?
Or a promise to write a history as it comes?
Well, then once we have it, it might be interesting, but if everyone who came in offered simply the history as what happened, well, then we wouldn't charge anybody anything with the magic of whatever they're going to create.
But not many people could record what I'm offering.
You're speaking in all sorts of vagaries. What I'm hearing is air. I need something more substantial.
Within, I'd say, a month, there will be a war. Not the one that the public will know, but contained entirely within the nest, as some of the greatest men and women of the Wulin fight to change the world, to take a place in the pillar. This will not be recorded by outsiders, and those on the inside, well, they're mainly biased.
And you, of course, are a paragon of virtue and objectivity.
I wouldn't say so myself, for I am much too humble.
The problem with Wulin is you are, as a group, singularly willing to speak about all of the things that you do. Happy to do so. I can't trade for the future.
Then, unfortunately, at this moment, I have nothing to offer you. I can return with either money or... I'm sure I can find something more fitting.
If you have a patron for your stories to be, by all means, check with them, but when you've got the money for it, come see us.
Alright then. Please forgive me for wasting your time, but it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Just steaming on the inside, not trying...
That didn't go the way I wanted it.
Like, huh, I thought I could just fight my way out of this one. Apparently not.
I still could, thankfully. No, just a whole bunch of scholars. I'm gonna kick around like motherfuckers.
How many scholars would I have to beat up? I can take a bunch of nerds.
By the way, we should probably leave the city pretty quick, because I killed a bunch of scholars. Oh, and real quick, Pale Orchid, I would erase anything that wasn't the ones you just did.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, because I'm not sure what you put in and what's there for next turn.
I have a question.
Yes.
So my snake hiding in grass internal ability, it says if you have passion or inspiration, hyperactivity, and acting in accordance with it, your attack still inflicts 1 ripple if it misses by 5 points or less.
Yep.
Last turn, we were like dead on each other, weren't we?
Oh yeah, you would have had to spend. Did you?
Yeah, I did spend the sheet last time. Yeah.
Okay. Is that when you're able to spend after they do it, or do you have to spend?
I did spend it anyway because it's an extra. Because I spent it to get a +5 strike, and then it has the extra if you have a passion, blah blah blah. So.
Okay.
I did already. Spend it.
Yeah, I'll make. Yeah. Remind me that I will. He has now 5.
How many ripples do we get?
It's the thing is the more ripples you get, the more chance you're going to get knocked out. Because your chi aura maximum is 2, which means right now the most you can roll is 2 dice to defend. Whereas like a level 3 can roll 3, a level 4 can roll up to 4, and 5 can roll, or 1 can roll up to 5. So like if they're rolling like 11 dice, the chances of them getting a pretty major above what they can roll.
So
what
means that we're like, what's the loss condition then? Like, how am I out of the fight?
If someone someone can try to decide to run or give up is a fairly common thing among the Wulin, but usually that means you're giving over, in this case, the sword. And the other thing is, like, if you are knocked out or something.
Okay, so how do they knock out?
Basically, if they either take a condition that you have and inflame it up beyond major, or if they get more than 3 times your
that's what I was after.
Your chi threshold.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Plum Blossom, are you heading back, or are you staying?
I think I stay for a while. I want to Plum Blossom has specifically been avoiding politics. I want to learn more about how my little brother is doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so besides his age, what is the issue with my dear younger brother and how?
Well, your younger brother took a good deal from your father. He wishes to be a Wulin. He's often quite angry that he is unable to do the things that his dad did when he was younger, but they knew he was the only one. Your father had an older brother. He's young, he's hot-headed, he's lacks subtlety. At least when I was there, he looks for the good in people, and that is a mistake when you're... Oh, it's a mistake when you're looking at the people around you.
Too soft for the job, then?
I think he maybe has it within him to do it, but he's not learned the lessons yet. He has his head full of honor and being a fighter and all the things that he's never going to be able to be.
Vinder should have put a child on the throne.
I'm thinking that his father should not have left, or if he was killed, should not have been killed.
He's alive. There's no way he's dead.
I hope this is true.
I think I understand what you're trying to... Are you trying to get me to talk to my brother? What would you see me as? An advisor? A successor? What exactly do you want from me?
Well, at the least, if you're able to find your father and have him come back to fix things. But if
I'm like, shake my head as he says that, like...
Yeah, he goes, you could never be a successor to your brother. You're illegitimate, they would never accept you. But his brother, who's a Wulin fighter, who's traveled the world and lived their own way, you have a quick route into your brother's heart.
Definitely want to roll Wu Wei. Or would it be Wu Wei to tell if he's lying?
Yeah, I think so. And then I'll tell.
Okay.
You've heard some tales as too of the young emperor who wanted to be a Wulin, because his father was. His father basically thought he was going to spend his life among y'all, and then that didn't work because when his brother died.
Yeah.
And let's pop over to Pale Orchid. So describe what you do, Pale Orchid.
So I missed, right? Oh wait, no, this is
Yeah, I mean, tell me what it looked like when you did it, so we can.
When I miss and then like dodge his attack or block his attack and send it away, you can see just like my blood is boiling right now. I sort of got like my character got this sort of expectation that this fight was also going to be trivial, like the previous one with Hooded Cobra. The fact that it isn't, it's just sort of like thrown her a little bit, and she's just fucking pissed. She's gonna try and like fucking hit him again, like close in the gap and just try to like thrust into him. And I guess I miss.
Okay. Yeah. So as you do, is he comes to the side and then just and he's swiping at you with the claws. So in this one, he's gonna keep the ones. Oh shit! Wait, did he block by more than 10? No, he didn't. If he blocks by more than 10, he actually gets to reply with a ripple for the. Or actually, no. He'll do. No, he can't do that. The other thing. So yeah, as he kind of turns, it's several quick strikes as you sort of go past, with a total of a 48 on his strike.
48. Damn. So I'm rolling it.
And like his chi is going, the air around him is starting to get cold, and it's seeming like unnaturally dark in the area in which you are.
What is the maximum amount of Joss I can spend on before I roll a thing?
Well, you spend Joss at the beginning of a round.
So it's only for initiative?
It lasts the whole round, but basically you can spend one Joss to, I believe it's just one, but you spend one to either Chivalrous Joss raises your die pool, and Malicious Joss lowers the other person's.
Okay, but that's at the beginning of the round, and so it lasts for initiative and like the attack. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't do for rippling rolls unless you've got a specific thing that allows it. Oh, and you can spend 2 points of Joss per round.
Okay. Cool. So I'll just roll then. Cool. So what's his attack?
48.
48. Which one is it easier to dodge or block?
This is as he went by you, it'll actually be a little easier to dodge.
You know what?
Because as he went past and is striking, as you're going by, since he dodged out of the way from you, if you block, you have a -5, which still puts you above your.
I'm gonna dodge anyway. I'm gonna spend the 2 10s from my river and the 2 10s there to get a 40. So that's a 50 in total.
Okay. So yeah, so in that case, it barely. You practically feel it like hitting the back of your clothes.
My beautiful clothes.
Oh, holy shit! I forgot something. Oh, don't get hit again, because his technique means you treat the chi threshold as 2 points lower, which means essentially you have no chi threshold.
Oh, good. Absolutely stunning. Okay.
Oh no! I'm sorry. You still roll the same dice. It just means your chi threshold is down by 2.
Oh, okay.
Which makes it a little bit easier to get a worse wound. Okay. So go back to initiative.
I'm going to spend 2 Joss on shoot to get 2 extra dice. So do I roll an extra 2 d2? Okay.
Yeah.
2d10. Okay. Yeah. Feel free to go to other people. I'm taking up so much time. I'm sorry.
No, it's that's
You're fine.
I figure with combat here, if I'm able to bounce between people, as long as it works for everybody, we can have it so that it can maybe some interesting things can happen without it taking up like the whole session. Okay. And he is going to breathe. He's going to respire a little extra chi. So Lone Sparrow, I'm assuming there's a pretty good chance you're going first, Pale Orchid, because you've got a significant bonus that he does. Yeah, you're gonna go first. So I just put it because he's got a total of 30 initiative. Lone Sparrow, what do you do when as you leave the library?
I guess I'm kind of scratching my head on like how to get through this with like causing minimal damages. And I do have a thought. And it could make some interesting things, but we need to spend a little bit of that entanglement I've got stored up.
Okay.
Because she did mention that it was either the money or we needed somebody high-ranking. And while I don't have anybody like that in the city, there is a reason I'm here and a very powerful man who sent me here. Could we use the entanglement to basically rope Silver Talon into this?
Basically you could. Basically, we can have it where a messenger will come to speak with you, and then it'll take a little bit because he's not.
Oh God, no! But like, send a message out
you
to
could have
Silver Talon, basically saying, like giving him an update onto this mission and what I've learned, and basically going, in exchange, I need authority.
Yeah, I would say if you put probably 4 points in, it'll take him a little bit, but he'll be able to send message.
Yeah.
To them, like it has to go back and forth, so it'll be a little bit, but you
I believe we can
have him get you into it.
Yeah, I believe I've got like 8 sitting.
Let me check. You've got 3.
3 on my sheet, or 3 on
3. 3 on the lore sheet, where we've been like.
Do we spend anything last time?
No, but you got something really low. I think.
Right. Okay. Then we'll have to wait for that, and I'll have to think about another possibility.
I mean, you'll get 1 entanglement at the end of this session, at least, with a D.
Yeah.
So we can still do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are other ways of doing it as
Yeah.
well. And Pale Orchid, since you're going first, you'll respire an extra
Yes,
breath of
and
chi. An extra
if I
point of
focus on
chi.
breath, what are the so I have to get 20 to get 1 back, and then
Yeah, I
40
believe
for
so.
2, 80 for 3. It says here.
If you're unarmed as preferred weapon, I believe you get a bonus to recovering breath.
I think you can. It means you can actually do it with a single die instead of a set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which basically means it's very easy to essentially always breathe in an extra point of chi.
Yeah, but okay, cool. So I have 7. Cool.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and make your roll, and then so Lone Sparrow. So so you're just sort of trying to figure out what you're going to do, Lone Sparrow. Then,
Yeah.
or you're going to be doing something else. Okay. And then Plum Blossom.
You know, I have had plenty of opportunities to go back, but here I am. You are looking for solutions to come to you. And I'm sorry, but all I can give you is a man, maybe. I can't solve an empire.
Do you think the man that you might be able to find is not a solution?
No. He is not.
He smiles. He goes, you didn't know much about your father.
I knew enough. Why do you place so much faith in him?
Because I knew who he was. I don't know why he left.
I think...
But I'm thinking, if he sees... I'm thinking that if he sees his son threatened, if he sees the Empire getting on the edge of war, whatever took him away, we'll help him at least bring it back to make sure that fewer people die.
You are much more optimistic in that regard than I am. I don't know. Why not try to talk? You still throw around some weight, I'm sure. No one you can try to talk to? Have you done all you can to try to calm things down at the capital?
I'm an old friend of the Emperor's, someone who knew him quite well. They're doing everything they can to keep me away. Unfortunately, many of the ones that I used to know and work with have been imprisoned at this point, killed, or turned.
Who's leading this faction that would overthrow my brother?
From what I've heard, it's the eunuchs. The head eunuch in particular. And he gives you a name, which I'll have in a moment. Feng Jianyu.
Feng Jianyu.
He is most likely the one who is leading all of this.
Alright. I get up. I'll let you know if I find my father. If you gain any other information on this, feel free to contact me.
Hi, Plum. Hope you find your dad.
Oh my god! Bye, Mr. Sparrow! Oh god.
Have fun storming the castle.
God.
So, Pale Orchid, what do you do?
Can I add stuff to my river on this roll? Or is it only initiative rolls?
No, it's any contested roll. You just have to make sure you've not used stuff from it during that same roll.
Yes. Wait. No, god damn it. Okay.
Well, as long as on this roll, I mean, if your initiative, you could flood stuff out of it, and on your action roll, you could actually put stuff in.
Okay. I'm using stuff from my river now, so I can't put stuff in.
Then you can't. You can't replace it. Basically,
I'll put 21 there then. So yeah, going to hit him. Basically, she's losing like elegant composure and is just going to just try and hammer down on this guy. As one strike goes in, she's gonna try and like get a gut punch in to do a disrupt to his dodge. I think has already done his block.
Okay. So he'll be able to do. So actually, he won't even need that much. Of course, he doesn't matter because he can't put the other ones in the river. Oh, right, that's the wrong one. Put it in strike. 31. Yeah, you basically you managed to strike 2 over. What is your
10
damage?
Do I finally get a hit in?
Is it 10? I think damage is 5
my damage is 5 on 8 legends, but I bought an external that ups it to 10. Golden Flash.
Okay. Yeah, those I just put a note that maybe in the weapon bonus just because we don't have another.
The bonus is actually underneath all like the 8 legends, like the weapon bonuses and stuff, right at the bottom.
Yeah, I would add the extra thing into the weapon bonus.
Oh.
Next to it, because it's not from your weapon, that's from your technique, or put it just so it's easy to check. So his toughness is 5, so you'll have an extra 5. So you hit him with 7 above, which will give him another ripple, but will not force a ripple.
Okay.
So he's now at 6. So yeah, as you sort of hammer down. Yeah, he tries to sort of dodge out of the way, but you manage to catch him pretty hard across the chest. And as it strikes, there's even like a little bit of sparks go flying from him.
Metal.
He has an iron body. And unfortunately for him, I rolled like shit. So he's
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh my god.
So his strike is just going to be an 18, which is not much. Well, I'm sorry, it was an 18. Actually, plus his chi makes it a 43. So he's definitely spitting out some of the the chi.
It's easy to dodge or
metal
block.
chi on there. At this place, we'll actually say it's easier to block because as you hit him, he's got a couple swift kicks sort of come in as he's being knocked back a little bit from it.
55. So is that 10 more than the do I get to do a thing now?
We'll see. So his strike is just a
Yes.
43. And what was your block? Your block is 55?
So you said it was if it was more than 10.
No, that's something he has.
Oh,
You have...
god damn it! No, then I don't have anything.
Yeah, if he blocks because of the paired weapons, if he blocks for 10 or more, he gets 1 extra ripple.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, he sort of takes a moment, and he takes like a half step back, and he's sort of looking at you, and then kind of looks sort of back, and he's not injured as of yet. Like you've actually taken like a stronger hit than he has, but like your hits have connected. They've connected pretty hard. And there's sort of a moment where he takes sort of a step back. You kind of tell he looks like he's about to disengage. Do you let him?
No.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Fuck this guy and everything he stands for. Oh shit! I was going to roll spend another 2 as well. The 2 joss to get extra dice.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Do I get something if my initiative is insanely higher?
Not usually, no. Occasionally there'll be things where if you like certain techniques, if you have a higher one. Okay, you get to go first on here. So if you want to make, I'll make a roll for what his defense thing will be, and then you can decide what it is you are doing. And okay, so while he's doing that, Plum Blossom, or what? Yeah, while she's doing that, Plum Blossom.
Yeah.
Were you
Yeah, I think that played out as much as it could.
Okay. Do we want to say that you and Lone Sparrow end up meeting back at the
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I look like the glummest I've ever looked in front of you, Lone Sparrow. Like, I look hard. Oh, did we lose him?
Lone Sparrow, you with us?
No.
Man, last week he was doing alright. Bummer. Well, back to fighting for now?
Okay. Okay, we'll see when we get him back.
You cursed him! You cursed him!
Okay, yeah, so tell me what you do.
So I get a 38 on my
Pale
strike. No, 58, sorry. No. Yes. 58. Hello, are any there?
Sort of. Keep roboting out.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, 58 to strike. And 21 to disrupt. Have I successfully disrupted anything?
Minus. I think the -5 on strike. Oh, -5 on strike.
Can I disrupt that?
Which I think I removed from his.
Do I get to disrupt that again, or is it just?
You can just do it the once.
Then I'll try to disrupt his block this time.
So you have a 21 total.
Yes.
He can throw. Of course, actually, wait. So this won't matter all that much. 58. Now he'll put the 30. He'll use his 5s there. He'll just throw in the 29 for the block. So that won't work. So your total is 58 plus you have what, 5 extra
damage
on top of his against his 5 toughness. Yeah, so that basically be 5 extra because those will even themselves out. So you got a 13 more than him. That is.
Is that more than his chi threshold?
13. It's 1 rippling roll and an immediate ripple. So go ahead and roll. Or never, we're doubling those.
What am I rolling here?
Roll 8 dice.
So 8 d10s. Jesus Christ. So am I counting
you add
this,
you add your damage. You add your damage, and he adds his toughness.
So that's 10.
So he's got a 29. You've got a 29.
Plus 10.
You've got 10. So basically, you succeeded by 5. On this one, which means what's going to happen is he's going to get a. It'll be a trivial condition. What condition do you want to put on?
Can I say that the condition is he is nothing? But that's too big to be trivial.
Humiliated?
Yeah. Well, he has nothing sort of works. We can make it. That's kind of a breath thing where he's basically losing some confidence. At which point, I'll just real quick. He is going to come after you with a. So he's using his sort of hardiness here as he does sort of a full body strike. Now he's not actually trying to strike for a lot of damage. He's just going to use the 1, 8, for that. He is, however, not using all the chi there, but he is trying to do a knockback, which of a 25 on that. So he's basically trying to knock you out of the area that he's in.
Oh, so he's trying to knock me away.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the number for the knockback? 30.
Is 30, and it's a 33 for the strike.
Okay. Oh, do I still roll my 2d extra on that? Because I did the joss, or is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Please, Lord. Oh, beautiful. Then yeah, I'm gonna use the 2 6s to dodge. Just 36, and the knockback is gonna be exactly 30. So what happens if
Oh,
you equal? So if he gets 30 and I get 30.
You'll stop from going. I've been forgetting to use his minor action hyperactivity, but no huge deal. But yeah, so it's a... Yeah, so you manage to sort of dodge the one and then sort of get the other strike there.
Yeah, so I...
So as he's coming at you, it hits you with a lot of force as he's trying to knock you back away from there so he can possibly escape.
But it doesn't happen.
And since we are at about 9 o'clock, do you care if I give you a joss for an interesting thing that lets him? Because you did use the 30s that would let him end up escaping. Because you did use 10s on there, so
yes.
I can give you interesting times.
Okay.
So
yeah, sure. Yeah,
as it So as it happens, you actually snap one of his tiger claw blades, and it flies and it strikes. There's like a young woman not too far away that pierces her leg as it goes off, and you actually take a point of chivalrous joss for this because you did succeed. That's in her leg, and there's like the blood spray you're looking at is pretty dangerous, and people are very kind of clearly afraid to come near all of you.
Fuck's sake. Okay. Yeah, then I guess we end on Padlock immediately running over to help the woman instead.
Yeah, he and his friend are going to sort of turn and flee. So right now, you have how many ripples?
4. It was 4.
So I'm going to roll 4d10, and then you go ahead and roll 2d10. He has a 19. You'll probably be okay. And are you going to add your toughness?
Okay,
Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah. Now, he's going to roll his 2d10, and you roll 8d10. He has a 17, plus his toughness, which is a 5, so he's got a 23. 1, 2, 3, 4. 23 against a 41 plus your damage, which is 45, or 46. So you succeeded by 23. 23 on there is going to... Did you want to take that trivial up to a minor?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So as he sort of takes off, not nearly as confident as he may have been previously, and you go and help the lady.
Ran away from girl is the minor.
Yep.
But yeah, run away and go help the person.
Okay. And then, like I said, I think Oren, you had met Lone Sparrow. You and Plum Blossom had met back at the. We can kind of get you all back there, or if you want to do that now, or if you wanted to wait till next week.
We can meet up just for the day if that's like the ending scene.
Yeah, I figured that. Yep.
Yeah. So I show back up the auspicious puddle. I just look like. I normally, I appear like radiant and glowing and open in awe, and I just look the most closed you've ever seen me. Like, I don't even know if I nod hi to you. Do you do anything, or do you just let me storm off?
I guess I'll try to, like, sit you down in, like, a weird, like, Roberto version of what you did last night, even though I'm incredibly shit at, like, pouring drinks.
Sorry, Lone Sparrow. Thank you. Yeah, I think I, like, get someone else to order a good drink and not bad leftover tea with gin.
This is great, though.
God.
Drinking both cups.
God. Some days are easier than others, it seems.
Mm-hmm. What's on your mind?
I have a question. Did you join the Eagle Towns, or were you born into them?
I would say joined, but then again, it's not like I had much life outside of it.
Do you feel like you had the choice to join, or that there was truly no other option for you?
My choices were either to follow a caravan of guards against their will across the countryside and eventually end up in the nest, or starve to death in some small town.
So you didn't have a choice.
I made my decision. I don't know what waited down the other path. Maybe I'd be a simple man, or maybe I'd be a gravestone.
And the choice is what mattered.
I didn't hear that.
The choice was what mattered.
Mm-hmm. And in the Talon, I have more choices than I could ever make.
And someone is trying to take my choices away from me.
The question is, are you really losing all of your choices then? True, when I joined the Talon, I lost my ability to become a farmer, a peasant, a librarian, a scholar, anything like that.
The librarian right now is the pain in the
The librarian is the pain in the... Bunch of fucking nerds! But, in exchange, I gained feet that would carry me anywhere I wanted to go. It's less about where you are and more about how much will you're willing to exert.
I have been able to carve something not just prosperous, but joyous. This is my ideal life. It's not about... I am exerting the force over my own life that I had always wanted. And someone is plucking at my more nobler sensibilities to guilt me into chasing a fantasy. I'm sorry, I'm going to go retire now.
Just 1 second, please.
Of course, friend.
There are members of the Talon who feel similar. As one raises their ranks, one, well, gains more privilege. The honors, the rooms, the servants. You gain high enough, you want for nothing. However, men like that, who think like you, don't last long. Those who become content stagnate. It is in the nature of man, the nature of all things, to continue reaching, to continue growing. If you have hit a point at which you are comfortable, then you may rest.
I give you like a gentle laugh, like, I understand what you're trying to say, but my friend, I just became the owner of my own establishment just 2 days ago. I am hardly stagnating. I still have much work I would like to do.
And you can do it. Just sort out whatever this business is, and come back. Prove your will to be stronger than anyone else's. I know there are things you cannot discuss.
How... I hardly feel as if I've been a close book with you, friend.
I know, but there are still things that were not meant for my ears.
Oh boy! Giving you a fucking look. You should clarify that.
I do not know what. I know that men in high places want something from you. Something dangerous, something old, something that will upset the balance.
I sigh and like the fight that was bringing me deflates. Because you are my friend, I will tell you this. You do not want to know anything more. I myself am trying to untangle myself from it. It's in neither of our interests to worry about it. I would prefer that you focus on the man I am now. And not what other men would have me be.
Is this about the point where Pale Orchid comes in covered in something?
That sounds perfect!
Cool.
A scene? Or like...
Annabelle.
I think Plum Blossom's just like, what the fuck?
Hey y'all, had a day.
Goes over, drinks the tea. No, that doesn't happen.
That'd be very funny though, if you were just cavalier about it.
Just slowly, just silently walks over, takes the...
No, here, I do have a question. Do you fucking show up at the auspicious panel covered in blood?
Yeah, let's go with that.
You do?
She's okay. So, like, you see her, the blood. You see her face. She is not like there right now. She's like glazed over.
I just like immediately rush over and like out the building, and like around to the back door. Did you want like a scene here, or do you want to like call it and save that for next week?
We can start it up next week with that, I guess.
Okay. Make a note.
Seems like a good place to start it. Alright.
Bloody
Blood
Pale Orchid,
everywhere.
someone else's blood.
Don't worry, all my bleeding is somewhere else.
God. Alright. Deeds?